UFC 325 is over, and back to back, Dana White does not get what the fuck he wants. Sometimes you just win again. Last week we won. Patty got blitzed. This week we win again. Lopez got touched. Dana White, the sick man that he is, he had a disgusting agenda. Back-to-back dog shit title fights. Not dog shit entertainment value. Well, we'll talk about this fight in a second, but I mean dog shit in terms of this doesn't make sense. Why is Patty and Justin fighting for any fucking belt? There's 4 fighters in that division better than both of them. This fight, why is Diego Lopez getting an immediate rematch against Volkanovski? All he did was beat Gene Silva. He got dominated at the first fight. Volk is on the tail end of his career. Give him some last good fights that will really extend his legacy. You're not going to extend his legacy too much by beating Diego Lopez, somebody he already beat. Defeat an undefeated guy like Movsar or Lerone Murphy. There are more interesting contenders than somebody you already destroyed. Why are you giving... Dana White, why did this happen? Well, it happened, and it did not go your way. Fuck you. Dana White took 2 fucking L's back to back. Last week, he wanted Patty to win. Obviously, an industry plant. He wanted Patty versus Ilya, the money fight. This week, he wanted Lopez to win just because Lopez is younger. He's arguably more fun, more entertaining to watch. He's usually brutal, brawler, finishes, KOs. Mexican. He wants that Mexican market audience. You give Lopez another title shot immediately after beating Gene Silva. Well, this is what happens right here. That big old WIN. Volkanovski gets another dub over Lopez. I'm seeing some people bitch about it. Let's talk about the fight. Not a robbery at all. Not even debatable in terms of like, oh, it was pretty close. No, the fuck it wasn't. It was slower than the first fight. It was more boring than the first fight. Volk won this fight quite easily. There's more of an argument for a 50-45 than a 48-47. I'm not even like a Volk stan. My favorite fighter is Max Holloway. So I do feel some type of way against this fucking creature. But I like Volk. I think he is the featherweight GOAT. I really wanted him to have a different fight in this era, in this time period. I did not want him fighting Lopez again, but he did. Destroyed him. He absolutely destroyed him in a very boring performance. I'm not gonna lie. He played a lot more safe, as he should though. Like, fight IQ is a thing. I understand we want to be entertained, but at this point in Volk's career, I understand fully he wants to dismantle the opponent in the most safest way. This is exactly what GSP did, which I understand completely that GSP also had the same criticism of, oh, he's winning, he's dominating, but it's so boring, it's so safe, and he goes the safest route. He always tries to wrestle, keep the distance. He's not a brawler. I get that entertainment wise. Trust me, I like a good fight too. This fight was pretty boring, but Volk, it's not Volk's fault that he's just fucking better in every way possible than Lopez, dude. Like, Lopez had 25 minutes to figure Volk out the first fight. Couldn't. He had 25 minutes again, and he arguably looked worse in this fight. Volk looked more active, and it was more fun and more entertaining in the first fight. This fight, I will say, how do I say this without sounding like a fucking laser? Each round was more competitive than the first fight. So I do agree that Volk, in that way, did look more dominant, but Lopez just didn't look that good in this fight, if that makes sense. Most rounds ended with the last minute or two where Volk would pop off with a combo and just land the bigger shots. Like, that's just what it is. What Lopez had, like, 1 knockdown, I think in round 3. If he did not land that knockdown, and mind you, that was Lopez's best round, but again, in the last 2 minutes, Volk was picking up the fucking pace. In fact, let's look at round 3 strikes. Total strikes, Volk outstruck him. Significant strikes, Volk outstruck him. Now, wait, what? They're not counting the knockdown. Wasn't it round 3 when Lopez knocked down? Round 2? What the fuck? Is it? Maybe it's just not updated, but I could have... There was a knockdown, and I'm pretty sure it was round 3. Let's just say it's round 3. It's not showing right here, but maybe it's just glitched. I don't know. Let's say round 3 was when Lopez knocked him down. And it was a knockdown. His coach, Volk's coach, tried saying it was a slip. It was not a slip. He was just trying to hype his fighter up, obviously, but it was a knockdown. Volk's recovery was boom. He shot right back up. If you want to give Lopez the round because of that and the fact that it was pretty close in strikes, I don't mind that. At most, 49-46. There was not another round. Round 4 was again neck and neck, so low volume on both ends until the last 2 minutes where Volk just pops off more combos, more right hands that just obviously sound wise you hear the thud more, but you clearly see Diego buckle more. It seemed like Volk was just hitting harder than Lopez, which is crazy to say, but I understand if you think it was more competitive. I don't, hold on, I'm trying to think. The fight just ended, it's midnight over here. Let me try to put my words in a sentence that makes sense. First of all, I fully agree that this fight was fucking boring. I fully understand. But I'm not too mad because I just understand why Volk fought the way that he did. I'm always going to blame the other fighter. Like Islam versus JDM, you can say Islam put on a boring performance. What about JDM? You're a mixed martial artist. Get the fuck out of that position. If you can't, oh well. Why wouldn't Islam want to do that? Oh, okay, the entertaining fight. I get that, true, but I mean, you're reaching GOAT status. You're trying to reach legacy. It's just, not everyone's going to have the fucking Anthony Smith mind. Not Anthony Smith. Who am I thinking about? Smith just turtles up into a ball like the GOAT he is. Who just marauds out there like a fucking idiot? I can't think right now, but you know what I'm saying. There are a few fighters out there that maraud, but also have the skill to back it up. Like I would say Gene Silva does that. Alex Pereira does that. But I mean, entertainment wise aside, I want to clearly nip in the bud. Oh, what did Lopez get robbed? No, the fuck he did not. Every round was somewhat competitive. It's hard to tell when both fighters are putting very low output. Lopez was pressuring, sure, he was doing nothing with it. Again, it seems to me he was getting outstruck in every fucking round, let alone the takedowns. Like, I don't know how you can say this was robbery. Some of these rounds were close. Round 1, obviously Volk. Round 2 was a bit close until the final 2 minutes when Volk was starting to land those combos that, again, were visibly buckling and stunning Diego a lot more than they were to Volk. Round 3 was easily the most competitive round, and the knockdown you could give to Lopez. I don't mind that. There's no way you give round 5 to fucking... There's no way you give round 5 to Lopez. Round 4 was almost as close as round 3, but I do think after the nut shot, Volk really did reel it in. Like, and no, it wasn't even after, it was before I think Volk was starting to pick up the pace. And then he did the nut shot, 49-46. I do think the 50-45 maybe pushing it a bit, but Volk won regardless. And yeah, I don't hate Lopez. He seems like a cool, chill, good guy. His fighting style is very fun to watch, but bro, I don't know why. Well, I do know why he was given this position, but he should have never been given this position. Dana White has this problem of just pushing stars and prospects way past their limits, and when they're fully tested, like the fans already know. Like usually the fans already know when they're like quote unquote not ready. Like we're bitching like why this doesn't make any sense. He'll push him anyways. I remember for the Sean O'Malley Marab rematch, someone in the audience is like asking Dana White question, like bitching about the fight, and Dana White's like, man, everybody wants to see this fight. Who doesn't want to see Sean O'Malley versus Marab the rematch? Even though the first fight fucking sucked and Sean got mollywopped, he asked the crowd in person, who doesn't want to see this fight? All you hear are boos. Boo, we don't want to see, because nobody wanted the fight. Dana White's response, well, I guess except for those guys over, those guys don't want it, but I mean everybody else wants it, right? I beat my wife. So fucking embarrassing. It's like it's so fucking embarrassing. He's so out of touch with what the fan base wants, what the company fucking needs. This was a joke of a title fight anyways, and I'm honestly happy it was boring. It's almost like a big middle finger to Dana White yet again, because it's like, bro, stop making these fucking fights. We already saw this. The first one was easily more entertaining. It meant more to Volk's legacy. He beat him again. Okay, so what? He was not ready for this fight. I knew it, and easily looks like Volk knew it too, because this was embarrassing. I'll just say how it is. I like Lopez. He's a cool guy. This second title shot, and this is what you pull through. Volk was boring, but Lopez had nothing. I think Lopez should deserve some of that criticism, if not more so. But yeah, I don't know what they do with Lopez. Tomorrow I will think about the fights to make after UFC 325. I am very happy with this result. Not too happy with the fight. Obviously, I would prefer to be entertained. This was a boring title fight, especially compared to the last week's title fight. Patty and Justin put on a fucking movie, but I'm just glad Volk won. Was not a robbery by any means. I don't even think a 48-47 is possible, let alone fucking robbery. 45, 50 is a little, I don't, but Volk won easily. All right, Dan Hooker versus BSD. I think I predicted a round 2 finish for BSD. I just knew he was gonna finish Dan Hooker, and dude, this was so fucking sad to watch. This triggered me. I was angry because round 1, Dan Hooker was looking like himself and keeping it on the ground and offering some good striking against BSD. I think he was winning round 1 until it got to the ground. Dude, BSD's like a fucking anaconda. Dude, we gotta see him against Charles. Oh, when Max beats Charles, dude, this would be the fight to make. BSD versus, that's gonna be crazy to watch. But anyways, yeah, dude, BSD is on a momentum train. If you told me he was gonna be on this little win streak after what Moicano did to him, I'd tell you to actually kill yourself. Hooker had BSD looking like prime Habib. It verbatim was reminiscent of the Armin fight. Same thing. He got taken down eventually, except Armin was way better on the feet, on the stand-up against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker was actually, I would say, winning the stand-up for the most part against BSD. Not domination. It was a back and forth little battle. But dude, the moment it was on the fucking ground, it was just, I knew it was over, man. Same thing with Armin. Just vicious, constant ground and pound. Not only are you dropping 12 to 6 elbows and just ripping his face open, but as he's trying to get out from the pain and the blood, you're constantly trying to fucking choke him and submit him. Vicious, bro. I think Armin and BSD are cementing themselves as like the most entertaining grapplers in the sport. Like, this is the type of grappler that I see nobody complaining about. He's constantly working. Not only is he moving positions where, you know, not just the BJJ fucking nerds can appreciate, like, oh, well, he's gonna set up a Darce. Like, no, he's fucking hurting and attempting to murder his opponent. It was sad to see. I think Dan Hooker's a fucking dog, but bro, give him a striker, please. Oh, give him a striker. He's getting up there, dude. He's like 35. We get it. Give him. He fought Armin when no one else wanted to. Fought BSD on this little streak he's on. He deserves better, please. All right, moving on to the next one. We also got this one right. This one I was very nervous about. Rafael Fiziev against Mauricio Rufy. Dude, every fighting nerd that took a L has bounced back tremendously. Let's see what Kyle does against, who's he fighting? RDR? Ooh, that's going to be fun, crazy. But Rufy, man. This was fun. It was a little slow. I understood what this fight was going to be. I was expecting like a Jose Aldo versus Peter Yan, where it's like almost like a chess match striking, where they don't go too high in volume and activity, but they do have like little explosions and just taking almost turns and just being right in front of each other's face. Rafael's pushing Rufy against the cage almost the whole, like, it seemed like the whole fight was against the cage, not clenching against the cage, but Rufy standing like just a few inches in front of, Rafael standing just a few inches in front of Rufy the whole time, while Rufy's just back is against the cage trying to keep him at bay. Dude, round 2 was crazy. Bro, when Rufy landed the right, and then, oh my, I'm not gonna recreate it. I did that in the live stream. Not proud of myself. Bro, Rufy's a problem on the feet. Rufy's a problem on the feet. Look at that. Right. Just right cross. Just like, whoa. Oh my God. But that's when I knew, fuck, it's over. And then did I say Rufy was going to knock him out? I don't think I did. I did not expect it. I thought Rufy was going to get a decision because Rafael was in there with Bahamondes, with Gaethje. Like, he's got a chin, but bro, Rufy found it. And it took a minute. It wasn't a clean knockout. It was, I think, essentially a TKO, but he got him. And Rufy looked fucking phenomenal. His takedown defense looked great. His grappling against Rafael Fiziev looked great. It is Rafael Fiziev. I'm not thinking this is the next big thing, but this is the right step in the right direction. I'm excited for Rufy. How good is BSD? Who does that to Rafael Fiziev? No bullshit, dude. BSD's... Dude, that resume is gonna age pretty well. It's age. How good is Dustin? All right, no more glades. Let's keep moving. All right, we got this one right. This was the worst fight on the card. I know people are gonna bitch about the VOLK versus Lopez fight, which makes sense. You know, it is the main fight, the title fight. You got the greatest featherweight of all time and a fun brawler like Lopez. You expect fireworks. Don't let that disappointment overshadow this disappointment. Maybe you weren't disappointed because it is a Tai Tuivasa heavyweight fight, but these two fat fucks ran out of cardio round 1, and it was embarrassing. This is easily the worst division in the UFC. I was so high on the Teixeira train. when he beat up a Tafa brother. So remind me, when a heavyweight beats up a Tafa brother, that doesn't really mean anything. Teixeira got fluked KO'd right after that fight against Derek Lewis. I thought it was an early stoppage. Bro, this fight, I'm glad he had this fight because it revealed so much. Teixeira was going for takedowns most of the fight. He did not want to strike. He couldn't strike because he ran out of fucking energy by round 2, but I cannot describe to you. I almost fell asleep during this fucking fight. They almost fell asleep too, or maybe it was cardiac arrest. Tai Tuivasa literally flops over Teixeira in the final seconds of round 3, and he looks like, I kid you not, like a whale just kind of flopping over the sand. Just they were just half dead within 5 minutes. And what was so aggravating about this fight is Tai Tuivasa had the knockout almost at every single round. He was losing every round due to the volume of Teixeira and the takedowns. But Tai Tuivasa, every time he landed like a combo, like a 1-2, Teixeira was like wobbling. And there were moments where the knockout it was like Teixeira was fighting on 5 HP. There's another fighter who actually was fighting on 1 HP later on that I'm going to talk about, which is that might be the worst fight actually. Dude, this fucking card sucked. Every time Tai Tuivasa had Teixeira on 1 HP, he ran out of cardio and had to hug him and clench him and just let Teixeira breathe, regain consciousness, and then the fight just fucking kept going, bro. 15 minutes. 15 minutes of just Tai laying on Tai Tuivasa in the craziest positions ever. There was one cool moment. One cool moment in this fight. In round 2, Teixeira lands a crazy, cool looking like 3-4 piece on Tai's face. Boom, 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 boom. It looks like just landing a quick little boxing combo. What made it so cool was the fact that Tai ate every single shot, and he like looked mad as he was eating them. But then obviously, they go into a clinch. They both fall down, and they're waiting for like a Big Mac or some shit. They literally just lay on the floor the whole fucking fight. It was so bad. But needless to say, obviously neither one of these guys will be champion. Even in this division, it was astounding how bad they looked. Tai, I'm not too surprised. Teixeira, this is the definition of a fraud check. Not the Derek Lewis fluke. This is a fraud check. Teixeira did not look good. He may win one, lose one, but he's not fighting for the title. All right, let's keep going. Oh, thank God, a skilled division with a skilled fighter. Sal killed Jamie Malarkey. Just a fun, quick, straight to the action, straight to the point, easy submission. Sal Killed is the best prospect in he's bringing the lightweight division back to life, which we need because lightweight is known to be the best division. It hasn't been the best division in years. Yes, when Dustin and Justin and Connor and Eddie Alvarez and Charles and Habib were all in their prime or coming up, it was cool. But the veterans are getting old. They're still taking out the new guys. I like that, but we need, like, the welterweight division has so many new faces, so many dominant killers. We need that in this division. We have Sal Killed, who's looking like the next big thing. He was dominant on the feet as always. He had one of the sickest KOs of last year. And how did he submit Malarkey again? Hold on, I forget how he did it, but I remember he had a sick ass takedown of Malarkey. Like, he damn near threw him to the floor, and then he just got it. And I want to say it was a face crank, and then it led to a rear naked. I don't remember, but I just remembered he got him down fucking crazy, instant, boom, end of the fight. Sal Killed, you probably had the best performance of the night. I would give Sal Killed the performance of the bonus for tonight for sure. He damn near saved this card, bro. This shit was ass. Tafa, brother. I was right. I was right again. I will never bet on a Tafa, brother. I don't even know who this guy is, and I just thought he'd win because Junior Tafa's last name is Tafa, and I got this one right. So same thing with this one. I thought Cody Brundage was just ass, so I went for Cam. Don't even know who Cam is. Got it right. This one. Let's talk about this one. This is the one I want to talk about. This is probably the last fight I want to talk about because this card was just ass. This might be the worst fight I've ever seen. I think it was worse than the Derek Lewis fight last year. I mean, in the last card. I think it was worse than the disappointment that was Teixeira against Taito Ivasa. I think it was worse than whatever the fuck you want to say about Volk versus Diego Lopez Part 2. This is one of the worst fights I've ever seen live. It's crazy because Finney is known to have one of the worst fights of last year as well, when he refused to fight and lay on his opponent. He did the exact opposite here. And dude, I don't know how he went 11-0, but he suffered his first L. I think this is the only fight I got wrong on the card. And this was just awful. It all makes sense why I just felt like I was gonna take a nap the whole live stream. Dude, this was a bad card. I'm not gonna lie. I think Finney let the fear or just the anxiety of the backlash of his bad performance of his last fight get to him, because he didn't try shooting a takedown until like the end of the first round. The first round, he instantly went to 1 HP. Jacob was landing so... Finney had Jacob looking like Prime Holloway. There's an argument every round was a 10-8, especially round 2. All on the feet. Just boxing, landing every combo he wanted on fucking Finney's head. And it seemed like Finney never been punched in the face before, because every shot not only rocked him and wobbled him, but it looked like they just hurt in pain, and like his whole fucking body was just twitching and moving with it. He had no head movement. Probably because he has no neck, but literally it was just like a pumpkin stuck on a fence and you could just punch it. He was getting lit the fuck up. Look at these numbers. Look at the it's horrible. Look, this was every round could have been a 10-8, bro. It was just awful. It was truly from an undefeated fighter who had a name coming in to the UFC prior to his last stinker. This was crazy. Now, granted, I think Finney fucked up his foot in one round or some shit, but I mean, Finney legitimately looked bad. He's now 11-1, and I don't know what they do with him. Like, he's gonna have to train and learn and hopefully get better from this performance, but non-existent head movement. Also just seemed to be too timid and scared to want to throw. Like, where Volk and Lopez seemed like they were feeling each other out, trying to find the right moment to, go for the combo, go for a 1-2, or just find each other in the clinch. Finney did not seem he wanted to fight. He seemed like he didn't want to rely on his wrestling, probably because of all the backlash he got where he only relied on his wrestling in the last fight. But he had nothing on the feet. So it's like, this is the IQ I was talking about earlier, where it's like, what are you doing? The first and only takedown he tried in round 1, he literally like waddled about going to it. It was a horrible attempt, and obviously Jacob defended it. Granted, Finney looked bad, terrible in this fight. Jacob Malcone is a fucking idiot. He had Finney on the ropes, literally 1 HP every single round, could not get the finish because as the rounds progressed, he just kept preferring the takedowns, and he just kept going for takedowns and clinch holds and just letting Finney regain consciousness, reevaluate, recoup the moment. So many moments Finney looked like he wanted to quit, and Malcone just decided, I'm gonna lay on you, I'm gonna grapple you, I'm gonna bring you to the floor, and it's like, if it's a cardio thing, sure, I get it, but that's on you. This is the perfect example of why I think middleweight is the second worst division besides heavyweight. It's such a weird, awkward position in the weight classes, and you got two bums like this putting on a bum-ass performance like that. But yeah, Jacob choked the first round finish big time. Finney was literally like just wobbling. It was the worst choke I've ever seen. Every round he had Finney on the ropes, and he just could not get it because he just completely preferred grappling and the wrestling, and it looked bad on both ends, bro. Like, Finney's lack of head movement and timidness, and I'll say lack of fight IQ for not wanting to wrestle, made Jacob Malcone look like Prime Holloway. But then you got Malcone just doing the dumbest shit by just not finishing the fight, by going for the grappling and taking it to the ground. If you want to say it was cardio, sure, but that's on him. You could have had a finish. Bad fight. I think I got this fight wrong too. This card was ass. I don't know any of these people, man. Alright, well, it's like midnight over here. I am sleepy. That does it for my video. Pretty disappointing card. I mean, I didn't expect too much because the main event I just thought it was kind of a dumb fight, and a lot of the fights, especially in the early prelims, were just who the fuck are these people? A few good moments. Shout out Sal Killed. Shout out Rufy and Rafael Fiziev. BSD versus Dan Hooker. That was good. Other than that, you know, heavyweights, middleweights, just thank it up. Shout out Charles and Max. That's around the corner. It's gonna be great. My favorite fighter, Max Holloway. Please save us. And we got a couple UFC fight nights coming up. I will be getting fights to make after UFC 325. I'll get that video ready hopefully soon. A lot quicker than the last one. And yeah, I will see you at the next one. This was a 6 out of 10. No, it was like a 4 out of 10. This card was ass. Fuck you, Dana White.